All right, so you're looking to make that leap, right? From kind of getting by intermediate Spanish to truly advanced? Well, if you really want to jump from that B1 to a solid B2 level, mastering the subjunctive and noun clauses is, well, it's absolutely one of the biggest steps you can take. Today, we're going to unlock the tools that let you speak with some real nuance, some real sophistication. So let's dive right in. So I'm guessing you're already pretty comfortable with phrases like quiero que or espero que, right? That's your bread and butter. But, to really level up, you've got to move beyond just talking about your own wishes. We're going to expand your entire toolkit so you can start to advise, to demand, to suggest, and even command with a kind of precision that just screams advanced speaker. And yeah, that's exactly what we're aiming for today.
Okay, first things first, a super quick reminder of what we're even dealing with here. The subjunctive. It's not about stating cold, hard facts. Not at all. It's the mood of subjectivity. It's for all that good stuff. Desire, doubt, possibility. Honestly, it's where Spanish really, really comes alive.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with what you already know, then we'll beef up your toolkit with some powerful verbs of influence. After that, we'll level up your formal language with impersonal expressions, tackle the super tricky nuance of the verb decir, and then, we'll wrap it all up.
All right, let's kick things off by building on the foundation you've already got. We're starting from a place of strength here.
I mean, you've probably spent hours and hours mastering phrases like espero que estés bien or quiero que vengas. This is classic B1 subjunctive, right? You're expressing your personal hopes, your wants, and that's perfect. That's our starting line for today. Okay, now this is where we really start to level up. To communicate with real authority, with real nuance at a B2 level, you have to do more than just say what you want. This next part, it's all about verbs that help you influence what other people do.
So, take a look at these verbs. We've got things like sugerir, exigir, aconsejar. See the pattern? They're all about one person trying to get someone else to do something. They're literally verbs of influence. And here's the kicker. Because the outcome isn't a sure thing, right? It's just a suggestion or a demand, it's not a fact. They will always trigger the subjunctive. Always.
Now, here is a really, really crucial detail. See that little pronoun? In te aconsejo que, that te makes it crystal clear that you are the one I'm advising. Or in le pido que, the le tells us I'm asking him or her. Seriously, this tiny little indirect object pronoun, it's like your secret weapon for being super clear about who you're talking to. This breaks it down perfectly. Think of it like a 4-step recipe. Step 1, your verb of influence, like aconsejo. Step 2, who are you targeting? That's your pronoun, te. Step 3, the connector, que. And finally, step 4, the action you're trying to influence, and that's always going to be in the subjunctive, like llames. It's a simple, but man, is it a powerful formula.
Okay, let's talk about elevating your Spanish. If you want to sound more formal, more professional, using these advanced impersonal expressions it's like a secret handshake that shows you're operating at a much higher level.
So, back at the B1 level, you probably learned stuff like es bueno que or es importante que, and that's great. But to really push forward, you need to get stronger, more definitive. So, instead of just saying something is important, how about fundamental? Es fundamental que. Instead of just necessary, why not obligatory? Es obligatorio que. See the difference? This is the kind of language you'll hear in professional settings, in academic writing. It's a major step up. And look, this isn't just my opinion. This very transition is a core part of the official B2 curriculum, laid out by the Instituto Cervantes themselves. The global authority on the Spanish language. So mastering these is a legit, recognized sign that you're making real progress.
Okay, get ready, because this next bit might just be the most subtle, but also the most powerful thing we'll talk about today. This is one of those details that really separates an intermediate speaker from an advanced one. And it's all about the hidden power of one little verb. This here.
So, we need to lean in for this one. The verb decir can mean two totally different things. It all depends on what comes next. So look, if you're just reporting a fact, some piece of information, you use the good old indicative. Dice que María viene. He says that Maria is coming. Simple. It's just a report. But, and this is a huge but, if you use decir to pass along a command, suddenly it acts like one of those verbs of influence, and bam, it triggers the subjunctive. Dice que vengas. That doesn't mean he says you are coming. It means he is telling you to come. One is a report, the other is an order, and the only thing that changes is the verb mood.
Isn't that wild?
And as you can see here, this isn't just some minor, nitpicky grammar point. No way. The choice you make between the indicative and the subjunctive in this situation can completely change the entire meaning, the whole social dynamic of what you're saying. If you can nail this, you're nailing a massive piece of Spanish nuance.
All right, so let's pull all these threads together and see how this makes you a much smarter, more effective communicator in Spanish. So what are the big takeaways here? First, start using those advanced verbs of influence like sugerir and exigir. Get them in your vocabulary. Second, level up your impersonal expressions to sound way more formal and polished. Third, and this one is so important, always think about the speaker's intent. Is it a report or an order? Especially with this here. And finally, don't you dare forget about that little pronoun that tells you who you're influencing. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about acing a grammar test, right? This is about being able to navigate real-world social and professional situations. The advanced subjunctive is your tool for being polite, for showing respect, for communicating with that kind of indirectness and formality that's just so important in so many Spanish-speaking cultures. It's the real difference between just speaking Spanish and actually truly communicating in it. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Think about your next week. Where could you try this out? How are you, personally, going to use a verb like sugerir, or an expression like es fundamental que? Because look, the only way to get fluent is to actually use what you learn. So go on, get out there and put this into practice.